Canada Day, which was July the 1st, and happy 4th of July for those of us here in the States, which is tomorrow. I hope you've all had a great holiday week. It's definitely summer. I'm here in Las Vegas where the temperature is 108 today. It was 111 a couple of days ago, and summer is on, as they say. The heat is on. Wherever you are, I hope you're safe and dry. I know there's some storms rolling up the East Coast and ruining the holidays for fireworks for some of you back there. But despite the weather, seems like it's a quick moving storm, so hopefully it'll move on through shortly and you can get back to the barbecuing and the beach and the fireworks and everything else. Meanwhile, for us here, in the lower 48 and on the states, it's time for week 4 of our Master Keys to Manifesting mini-series. I mean, we are halfway through. Can you believe it? It's been an incredible experience sharing all this with you, going through the class again myself and doing the tapping. It really helps me to get my energy going. In fact, I've had some breakthroughs and some epiphanies too, so I actually want to thank you for inspiring me to do this because I'm benefiting from it as well. I've been working on some manifestations of my own, but what came through was really magnificent in that it showed me that what I needed to do was kick things up a notch, and I'll get to that in a minute. Meanwhile, let's just get going and talk about what we're going to do this week. The topic for this week is create, create, create. And the last 2 weeks we went through, or last 3 weeks, we went through telling your new story, which was basically learning how to shift your energy by changing your words, your thoughts, and watching your behavior and action so that you can get more in alignment with positive creation instead of negative creation. We talked about the 7 laws of the 7 universal laws which govern creation. And we talked about how to watch your words and went through some word exchanges. So that was foundation class number 1. Then the second week we talked about self-confidence, because if you don't have the confidence in yourself and if you're not able to believe that you can do it, it's going to be pretty much impossible for you to achieve any kind of positive desired manifestation. I mean, we create all the time, whether you know it or not. You're always creating. What we usually end up creating is all the stuff we don't want. We are overwhelmed and totally overcome by all of that, and what we're trying to learn how to do is to do positive creation, okay? Then, and that builds confidence, but in order to start that happening, you need a certain, boost in your own self-confidence so you can just start taking action and doing what you need to do. Last week, we talked about procrastination. That little bitty, well, actually, it's a big word. It's 15 letters, but that word is the one thing that stops most people dead in their tracks. It's all the things that we do to keep ourselves from moving forward, because if we didn't procrastinate, who knows, we might actually succeed and make things happen. And it's been said that we talk about being afraid of failure, and yeah, there is some fear of that, but the truth is our greater fear is that we can be magnificently successful, because if we do achieve our goals and we are successful, for many of us that means leaving behind some of the familiar things, people and places, because once we succeed we change, and some of the people, even family members that are so familiar to us, no longer resonate with us, and it creates breaches and shifts in those relationships. And we leave friends behind. Sometimes we move, we want to move to better neighborhoods. The whole point is success changes your life. You have to change to become successful, and when you become successful, you become bigger than you ever thought you could be, and that's frightening. Change is frightening. So the procrastination part of it is a way that our egos protects us from actually stepping out of our comfort zone and becoming the magnificent beings, creators that we were born to be. So those were the 3 weeks of laying the foundation, kind of getting into the basics of what it really takes to create. And this week we're going to actually get into some real creation. Okay, so let's just dig right in, because we got a good little amount of information to cover, and then there's some tapping. This week's tapping is in 2 or 3 parts. I think it's 3 parts, and so we're going to get to that shortly. But mainly, I just want to kind of help you realize that while we weren't really talking about creating and making money and being successful in DS Domination, which is our intention, it was because we needed to do some things first. We needed to get some groundwork covered and get you energized and moving forward, because once we go into what we're doing now and over the next couple of weeks, if I hadn't prepared you, boy, the stuff that'd be popping out would be downright scary, all right? So let's just get started and start working, okay? Now, like I said, this week's topic is called Create, Create, Create. And I use it that way, it's because the angels say, and I'm a big angel person. I work with the angels a lot, and I do counseling and coaching using their energies. They talk to me in ways, I'm a very sensitive, I'm a psychic, intuitive, and so I learned when I was going through the worst of my experiences to rely on them a lot. I pray, I rely on God. I'm a very strong believer and very strongly connected to our Creator, which you hear me call God, Creator, the universe. It's all, it's just different terminologies, but it is about God. It's about our Creator. And because of my belief and my connection, I've been able to pull myself back from the brink of disaster and recreate myself and, find the joy in life again and find the magic. And this is why we're here. So they say, create, create, create. If you want more of anything, create more of it, because the universe is designed to do just that. That's why the 7 universal laws were put in place, is because they govern creation, and when used correctly, they really make things work, make things happen, and we see it all around us. I mean, the earth is the greatest creator of the physical world. It creates everything, and everything that we create and work with comes from and is of the earth, and it's from, God's source, God energy that we bring forth from our desires and our intentions and dreams, use the earth material and create it. So if you really want to become a master creator, you have to learn to work in alignment with all of the principles that go into creating. It's about taking all of the work we've been doing for the last few weeks and bringing it together so that we can now channel those energies from within outward into the world, speaking our words, speaking our intentions, setting our energy and focus into the ethers, if you will, the surrounding energy. We look around us and we see what we think is empty space, but it's not. And first of all, it's full of oxygen, it's air. You cannot really get to a place where there is no air, no energy, no presence, because if you did, you'd basically be in a vacuum and you die. But even a vacuum contains energy, electrons, other things. If there's no oxygen there, it still contains other elements. So there's really no such thing as empty space, okay? And when we speak our word and start to work our magic, we're working with the essence that we dwell in, that we're made of, that we live in. And so when we're creating, we speak our intention into the law, of this case, the law of attraction and the law of abundance. And then we bring forth something of a material design, a physical design. Now, while creating involves bringing whatever you desire into your life, the series really is focusing on creating more money, because we're all basically DS Domination members, business owners. And our intention for getting together was to teach us how to kick things up a notch, energize our dreams, and make DS Domination work better. So since our intention in DS Domination is to make more money, the focus and intention of what we're doing from this point on is creating more money, creating the things we want. But it's not just about the money, because money, while we all want more of it, it's really about what the money can do for us that drives us. Our passion is to have better lives, to pay our bills, to have dream homes, to have cars, to have vacations, to have savings, to leave things to our families, to take care of ourselves and our families better. So the root of all of that is money. So, I mean, let's call a spade and deal with it as it is, because money, so many of us have issues with it that it's part of the reason why most of us don't have the money we want, because of all the surrounding belief systems and energy and fear and insecurity and all that stuff. And that's what we're going to deal with today. We're going to work on breaking up some of these issues and concepts and beliefs about money, because without clearing that energy, no matter what we do, you will still resist resist the energy of money coming in. And money is nothing more than another form of energy. It's an emotional outpicturing of what we are inside. And that's one of the reasons I talk about watching your emotions and being clear about what you're feeling and vibrating, because with the correct emotional vibration frequencies, whatever, money will be drawn to you like a magnet. But if you're afraid of it, you got negative belief systems about it, you feel guilty and all that stuff, it creates an energetic resistance around you in the thing we call our auras. That aura can be filled with all this fear energy and all this insecurity and non-belief, and that creates a barrier. And so we're sending out all this negative stuff, which means the money that we deserve, and that is our divine right, our abundance, can't come through. So we're going to work on that in a few minutes. Now, that's being said, there is some new homework for this week. It's not really new. Well, it is new, because mostly it's not like doing any more exercises with the breathing and the visioning and all that, but it's more tapping. And the reason why I'm including more tapping is because we're going to set some goals in this week's work, and then we're going to do some tapping on removing our belief systems and resistance to achieving those goals. And I just uploaded a document called EFT for EFT for Creating Money, I think it's called. In it, you'll follow some steps for writing your goals, describing them, and then tapping on removing your fear and issues surround making them happen. So the one we're going to do tonight in the video is one for removing the resistance and clearing money issues. And that's another whole set of concerns, because that comes from our history, our family, our experiences. And we're going to tap on healing, clearing, and removing some of those issues about money. I mean, some people feel like money's dirty and they feel guilty, especially if they have too much of it. So we're going to work on some of that, because since money is just, if you think of it realistically, it's paper. You know, in this country, it's paper. Although we have some coins made out of gold. You know, we don't have gold coins in this country. It's made out of fake silver and fake copper. If you drop a coin, a new coin with an old coin that was made out of silver, like a quarter, you drop a quarter now and a quarter then, one's made out of plastic and one's made out of silver. It's just not the same, and the rest of it's paper money. And then, of course, we've got the cyber money, which are credit cards. So being afraid of money is really in our minds, because money it's a vehicle, it's a tool. It really is. It's not going to hurt you, and it doesn't dirty you, it doesn't make you filthy. All it does is provide a means to achieving some goals. Now, just like you can use a hammer to drive a nail, or you can use a hammer to, hurt someone, it's about the application. And so we're going to kind of try to put things in perspective. Now, I mentioned a few minutes ago that as I'm working with you guys in these classes, I'm having my own kind of experiences with this. So, I want to talk a minute about that. But let me tell you this first before I get off track. Now, as I was talking about your own money issues, one of the things I wanted to bring up and to talk about is if you're experiencing money scarcity and it seems like no matter what you do, you still don't have enough, you'll really benefit from the tapping we're going to do. And if you've been through a significant life crisis, like a lot of us have, where lack and limitation has become your new norm, then using these sequences are going to help break through that too. To create anything, and whatever it is, money, relationships, love, cars, even better health, you must first know what you want and be clear about it. If you're vague and your ideas are unclear, or you just have arbitrary desires. Oh, I want to be rich. Well, what does that mean? To some people, being rich means they have a ton of money. Other people means they have to other people, it means having fulfilling lives, being rich and affluent in the quality of life. So the universe, unfortunately, can't discern what you mean when you use arbitrary terms like that. So we're going to work on getting specific, being more clear about what we really want, because what one term means to one person can be something totally different to someone else. Now, this is also because even if you really want something, if you're unclear or vague in the words you use to describe it or the way you think about it, it's just a wish. And I mean, we all wish for everything in the world. I wish this. I wish that person would disappear. Thank God none of that can happen, because if we could all have the people we don't like disappear, probably half the population would automatically vanish. So it's about making wishes. Yeah, that's where it starts. But it's about taking those wishes and charging them with desire and setting intention, which makes them a goal, and then taking action to make it happen. Wishes don't produce results because they aren't activated by the energy of your dream, your desire, and your intention. To activate a desire requires focus, clarity, and time. Don't forget about that. It takes time for things to come into being. And here again, consistency, your daily energy hygiene practices, they are the keys, because that helps to keep you focused, it helps to keep the energy up and flowing, and helps to keep you moving forward towards your desired outcome. Now, that doesn't say that you can't sometimes want something, think about it, and it shows up. And the real lesson in that, when you do want something, or say, I want this, I need this, I desire that, whatever, and suddenly it's like there, somebody brings it to you, you go out and there it is, it shows up, because unexpected gifts come in from the universe all the time. You can get unexpected gifts of money, you can want something and somebody will give it to you. I mean, I've had a lot of unexpected gifts show up in the last few years, simply because I said, oh, it would be nice. I mean, like just simple thing, like one day I wanted some seasoned turkey, ground turkey meat, because I wanted to make some turkey tacos, and I've been thinking about it all day, and I kept saying, oh, I need to go to the store and get some. And here in the apartment complex I live in, on Fridays they have a food lottery. We're seniors. I'm in a 55 plus community, and the owners are really, really magnificent. I mean, it's an active senior community. We've got rec room and pools, and it's a type A building. It's really fabulous. But on Fridays they bring in some really great foods. I mean, we get turkeys on Thanksgiving and stuff. Anyway, I wanted this ground turkey, and I was thinking about going to the store and getting it. And on that Friday, which was a couple of days later, when they had the food giveaway, there was a ground turkey with the taco seasoning in it, which they had not had before. And that was just one of those things like, wow, I was thinking about this, and I guess I really wanted it bad enough. I had been thinking about it for a couple of days, and it came in with the food, And this food is not like a charity. They pay for it. Our owners of this complex are phenomenal. They actually pay for it, buy it for us. And all we have to do is go get what we want. So it's great. But what it really means when something shows up instantaneously like that is that you just have no resistance, that your desiring and your focus is clear and precise, and the universe responds accordingly. But because you have no resistance, because you have no fear, there's no wondering, no disbelief, there's nothing to hold it back. So poof, it just comes right through. It means that all the resources and channels have lined up according to the universal plan. And when you just call on it, it just says, oh, here this is, because it's ready, it's waiting for you. And you spoke it, and poof, there it is for you. So use those examples to kind of help you understand that when you get into the right vibrational frequencies and you're doing this the way the system was designed to work, more and more things will start to show up for you faster and faster, and that you'll get more of what you want more instantaneously, like a lot of successful people do. You see them, they've got a lot of resources, but take the celebrities for instance. Many celebrities, they make a ton of money on their projects when they do shows and things, but a lot of what they get is given to them. And part of that is because of their level of expectation and emotional vibration. They live pampered lives because they expected that. They did the work, put in the time and the action to get into that field, and then they're rewarded for their hard work. And believe me, celebrities work hard. It's not their lives are not easy. It's not all, laying around enjoying chocolates and cherries and champagne. They do work. If you've not ever done any acting or performing, I tell you, it's hard work. They deserve it. Believe me, I've done some acting, I've done some stage acting, I've done singing and performing, and it's not easy. I take my hat off to them. It's not easy. But anyway, getting back to the point is that once we get you up to the point of a certain level of vibrational frequencies, which are positive and creative, you will find that when you want something, it'll come, whether it's money or whatever, and you end up getting a greater benefit of it because it comes to you in many ways without you having to try, because you're in that mode of creating. But what we've got to get ourselves out of is this negativity, this energy of lack and limitation, because that creates a lot of resistance. So the point is, whatever the case, don't overthink it. Just do the work and make the changes that you need to make, and you'll start to get what you want, and eventually it'll get even better. Okay, it'll get easier and even better. So this week we're going to work on setting your goals and getting clear about what they look like, what they taste like, what they feel like, and most importantly, what it'll feel like to have it. Because that's the passion, that's the energy that really fires you up when you are salivating and tasting and feeling, what it likes to have your heart's desire. This requires us to use our imaginations in some ways, and to daydream. And in some ways, for some of us, that's probably the hardest part. Many of you have forgotten how to daydream. You've forgotten how to dream. I talk to people every day. I have clients that I coach every day, and I hear people tell me all the time, I don't have any dreams anymore. I don't daydream. I just go along, whatever. And worst of all, it hurts me when I hear people say, I've just given up on my dreams. It's just, it's been so hard for so long. I've given up. That means that they've resigned themselves to be set in their lives at the point where they are. And that set point means that they can't go any further. And because they've lost hope, they can't even change it. Because in order to get out of that rut, you got to have hope that the possibility that you can make a change is there. But, it's all about your belief, and it's all about your ability to allow yourself to shift. Because according to motivational expert speaker Les Brown, he says you're never too old to dream a new dream or set a new goal. That was one of the mantras I used as I was coming out of my dark zone, my dark times, was because I had started to believe maybe I was too old, to start over. Maybe I was too old to have what I dreamed of, to build it again. Because for me, it was building it again, because I had it once. But it was like, it took me a long time to get to that point, and I was wondering, did I have the energy and the time to do it again? Well, the answer was absolutely. As long as you have breath, and you're able to think and energy, you can do anything, And the good news is, if you've done it once, or you've spent this lifetime learning and experiencing, where you are now, you already know everything you need to know, so you don't have to go back through that time of paying your dues to learn. All you need to do is put what you know to use. Okay. Now, we've been told too that only children should daydream, that it's not a grown-up thing to do. You're wasting time, spinning all these fairy tales and fancy thoughts. Well, I beg to differ. If you don't create dreams and set goals, how can you make anything happen? We got enough of what doesn't happen when we don't have dreams or goals. We know what we create that way. You create a bunch of arbitrary drama and nonsense, chaos and confusion. So if you have a daydream and your mind is filled with all of these wonderful imaginings, that's what comes out instead. Some of the most successful companies around us, like Google, when we were on a Google Hangout, Google and Microsoft and Apple and Disney, they encourage their employees to daydream, to play, and to use their imaginations to the fullest. In fact, that's part of their jobs. Those companies even have adult playrooms where they go to do things, to dream, play, and make stuff up. Disney has even named their creative employees Imagineers. I mean, that's a title. You are an Imagineer. Use your imagination, dream up some stuff, create it, draw it, make it look pretty, and let's sell it. And it works. It's a magic formula. All they do is create. Their entire jobs, 8, 10 hours, 12 hours, whatever their workday is spent making stuff up. Now, it doesn't matter if you haven't used your imagination for a while. Your dream machine's still good. It's still there. The good news is you can still fire it up. And once you start using it, it gets better and better, and it works easier, and you'll love playing with it. Pretty soon, you start dreaming up all kinds of things. And guess what? They start coming true. And once some of these dreams start coming true, you start dreaming bigger and better possibilities, and then they show up too. And as we've been going through the series, and I plan these classes, this is what I wanted to share with you about what's happened for me. You know, I've been doing the exercises with you and going and reviewing the material for the full-blown class that I did. And so I've had to review everything and you know, kind of tweak it to shorten it and condense it. And so it's caused me to go back through and work some of this stuff too. And as a result, my dream machine fired up more than I had been using it. Plus, I'm doing some other things on the side to help fire that up, because I want to be as successful with DS Domination as I can be. But when my dream machine fired up, I had some epiphanies. Okay. Now, I had some goals in mind. I had some desires, some things that I wanted, but without really realizing it, I had kind of scaled it down. And I'd scaled it down to a level that was comfortable for me to believe that that I could do. And it was comfortable in a way that I'm thinking, oh, well, I'm not, you know, in my 30s anymore, so I don't need all that and blah, blah, this, and I could be happy with, you know, with less than this, that, and the other. And so I was working on creating that and, you know, making progress towards it. But as I started doing and working with the tapping that we've been doing and stuff started breaking through, I had an epiphany. And a few days ago, as I was doing some breathing and meditation processes, and thinking about some of the things that I want and that I've been envisioning, I heard in my mind, and as I say, you know, God and the angels talk to me, sometimes out loud, I heard something that said, dream bigger. And it kind of caught me off guard, and I was startled. I thought, dream bigger? And it was like, dream bigger. What do you really want? So I just kind of let my imagination, I was in a state of meditation, I just kind of let my imagination run away, and I knew this really beautiful neighborhood that I used to live in that I really would love to go back and live in again, and I know the neighborhood and the houses and the view and all that stuff. I mean, I knew all of this stuff, and I really loved it when I lived there before. So I just started imagining what it would be like to have one of the homes there on the, you know, on the hillsides where I had the view for, 10 miles from where we were all the way out to see Dana Point. This is in Southern California. I could see the ocean from the backyard and beautiful mountains and everything around me, and I started dreaming about what it would be there. And then I started dreaming about, and I wanted another Lexus because I have had several of them, and I really liked the Lexus, and I thought, oh, it would be great to have another Lexus. And I thought, do I want the LS430? No, I really like the ES350. I'm just by myself now because I don't need all that big car and all, you know, I don't really want that big car anymore. I had it fulfilled, like been there, done that, but I really like the Lexus, and the ES350 would suit me just fine. And I want silver and gray interior. And I was thinking about all this and thinking about the view from the yard and the this and how the kitchen would look and all that. And then I heard, yes. I literally heard, yes. And it was almost as though they were saying, now you got it. Now you're dreaming. Now we got something we can work on. And I felt this increased energy surge of satisfaction and joy and fulfillment. And immediately I knew what had happened. I was dreaming too small. the universe, and as we do the tapping, I always say at the end, thank you God for all of this and something even better. And what I came to realize, the epiphany of that moment, was that I was dreaming too small. One of the reasons why I had not achieved my goals, because the universe had something better in mind, and because I was squeezing it down to something I was comfortable with, I was actually shutting down what the universe was trying to give to me, and it couldn't come through because my dream channel was too small. It needed to be bigger, because what the universe wanted for me to have was bigger. And as soon as I let myself dream big and desire it and feel it and imagine it, came this answer of yes. In other words, it's possible. And with what Hitesh and Roger and Kevin have created for us in DS Domination, it is absolutely possible. At whatever level I desire, the vehicle is there. The opportunity is there. The channel is there. The only thing that's lacking was me. It was my ability to imagine and accept what could come to me. So I wanted to share that with you, because that's part of the experience of what we're going to do today as we're starting to work with creating, is to get to the point of understanding that sometimes what we desire doesn't come to us because it's not big enough. We're not allowing ourselves to step out of our comfort zone and embrace the blessings that the universe is trying to give us. And when we squeeze ourselves down and we think too small and we limit the potential and possibilities, it's just another form of resistance based in fear and insecurity. And so if you dream big, and we encourage you to do that, open your minds and be willing to accept all that the universe has to bless you with, you'd be surprised what comes in. In fact, the way I got into that neighborhood in the first place was by writing down a dream. Just to share with you quickly, my then husband and I had just gotten married, and we wanted to get a house, and he had owned a house in that neighborhood which he had sold to someone else. And I got to see the house one day, and it was drop dead gorgeous. I fell in love with it. Beautiful cul-de-sac view, everything. And during a Thanksgiving service at my church, one of the things we would do is, at one point, we'd write down 3 goals for the following year and just, go into some detail about it and drop it in a basket. And for the next year, the practitioners and ministers of the church would pray over these goals, these dreams, these desires for a full year. And the following Thanksgiving, when we go back, they pass the cards out again. And when I got my card back, well, this happened in November. That following April, we moved into his house, the house that he had sold. The owners had to leave town quickly. They were being transferred back to Arkansas, and the guy didn't want it anymore. So he called my husband up and said, "You want your house back? We got to go, and we need to move in 2 months. Really don't have time to sell it. So, if you don't mind, since we just took over your loan, why don't you just take the house back?" Well, we were married by then, and it was like, absolutely. It wasn't until 6 months later at Thanksgiving, when we went back for the next Thanksgiving service, and I got my card back, that I realized that what I had described on that card was that house. Almost to a T. And I had forgotten all about it. But we, within a year, had that house. Well, when I did this meditation the other morning, and I know the neighborhood, so what I'm dreaming about is something a little higher up the hill, a little smaller, because I don't need a 3,000 square foot house with me, but a little smaller. But it was a few houses up above us on another street that were perfect. So I'm envisioning that and making my clear goal to let the universe know exactly what I'm looking for. I'm even going to go find the names of the streets that I like and put that in my dream. So this is just an example of when you get absolutely clear and you're taking action to follow through with your desires and commit to that process. It's amazing what can come out. So universe has told me now my dream's big enough, and so I've been visioning and feeling this, and the energy is so great. So don't worry, I'll let you know when it all happens. So to you, what I'm saying is, if you're finding resistance or not enough passion and energy behind what you are setting your goals for, maybe you need to up it a little bit. Maybe you need to kick it up a notch and dare to dream big, because if nothing else, you may not get that real big dream, but you might get more than you thought you could get, because even if you shoot for the moon, if you miss the moon, you might get a star. So, it's one of those things of allowing yourself to speak your word and then letting the universe bless you with whatever it is you are entitled to, what you're deserving at that point in time. Now, now that we are at the point of doing all this creation and creating and working, if you take nothing else from this class, I want you to take this with you. And that is, if you're not getting what you want and you're doing everything you can to do it, because remember, it is up to us to take action and be the creators, the co-creators with the universe. It's because you need to dream bigger. And that, I just want to reiterate that and kind of drill that into your head. Maybe you need to open up and allow bigger blessings to flow to you. And this brings us to the next part of the creating process. That's clarity. Gaining clarity. If you can't imagine what you want, you won't have the clarity you need to bring it into form. Having a clear picture of your desire creates the emotion and the passion that drives the creative forces that draws the object of your desire to you. To help you gain clarity, you can create treasure maps or dream books or maps, whatever you want to call it. You cut out pictures of things you want and put it in this book or on a poster or just put it on the wall or your mirror. It's about the visuals, you know. Some people call it a treasure map. Some people call it dream books. I even have a couple of friends that are coaches. One of my friends, she coaches people on how to make this dream book. And I tell you, she's an expert because she loves beautiful things. I mean, she's the kind of person, her house looks like something out of House Beautiful. It's magazine, you know, ready. And she loves beautiful things, and she does everything incredibly well. She's got this magnificent taste for interior design and all of this. And when I was at her house last, I happened to see her dream book on her table in her office. It looked like a really fancy wedding photo album. I mean, it was beautiful. And I looked at it and I said, yeah, this is Brenda. You know, this is something she would do. Even the dream book is fancy and beautiful and high class and high quality. Okay, but that's Brenda. Yours can be as simple as cutting out pictures of what you want, putting them on a poster board or sticking them on a mirror or wherever. The point is, put them where you can see them. You want some in your office, at work, or home, or whatever. You know, just be visual, be detailed. What you want to make sure is that you not only set the pictures up to fire your imagination, but you want to journal about it. Write about what it'll feel like when you have it, what it tastes like, what it smells like. Daydream about it. If you want a new car, daydream about driving the car. If you want a new house, daydream about decorating it, even cleaning your new house. That puts you in it. If you want to take that dream vacation, see yourself packing and going through the airport and then lounging by the pool or the beach or at your dream resort. If you like, you know, camping and you want to go to a mountain resort, see yourself walking through the woods. Get pictures of the resort and the woods around it, and, you know, close your eyes and imagine what it would smell like to walk through the woods as you're crackling, you know, walking through and crackling sticks and things. I mean, you want to put yourself in that place in your mind, and that helps to create the energy that tells the universe, this is exactly what I want. If you dream of running a marathon, maybe your goal is to do a marathon. See yourself training for it and then running it and crossing the finish line. I mean, carry it all the way through. Don't just stop at, I want to run the marathon. No, see yourself running and exercising and training and putting all that effort. Think about the city where you want to run, whether it's locally or another city. Maybe you want to make it big and go run New York's marathon or Boston's marathon, or, I mean, they're all over the world. Make it big. And if you want to travel to do a marathon, get some brochures of the city where you're going to go. You know, maybe some pictures of the marathon route, and just make it a visual. Create it in your mind so you can bring it forth in your life. So this week's homework is going to be two things, okay? Now that we've talked about all that, you know. You should have enough information now to complete your new story template, which we talked about in week 1. This was changing your story by using new words, creating a new idea of who you are and what you want, so you can stop telling the old story of what happened and what went wrong and what you lost and how much it hurt, and start talking about what you desire, where you are now, what you're focusing on, and what your intention is for your new life. And if you haven't worked on it, go back to week 1 and go to our file section on the Facebook group and download the template. I think it's called the New Story Template. It's in the work for week 1. And you can still do it, but you just need to get that done. Part of that is to help you start to speak positively into the law of attraction and the law of abundance and the other laws in a positive way that states and establishes where you are now and where you want to go. It doesn't matter where you've been or what has happened in the past. Disconnect from that, because we're trying to create new things for our future. And then we also, you want to start working on your goals. And so we're going to envision 3 goals or dreams, whatever you want to call them. And that really means something to you, something you're passionate about, whether it's a new ideal love partner or whatever, or maybe it's getting rid of what you've got, whatever it is. If it's owning, even so much as saying, I want to own all of the DSD products. I want to own Genesis. All right, fine. Let's set that up as a goal. Let's describe it. Let's take a photograph in your mind of what it would look like when you log into your DSD back office, and when you get in there, you see, instead of some of the products in red, and saying inactive, see them all in green, all saying active. When you see the panel on the left side that says Genesis, see yourself clicking on Genesis and the videos popping open. Just use your imagination. Create some screenshots of it if you need to. You just want to make sure that you've got these visuals so that you have this goal in mind. If you want to, Monopoly and Genesis are about selling on Amazon. So go to Amazon. Pick out some products that you think you might want to sell and see your name. Close your eyes and imagine that your name is there as the seller's name. It's your personal name or your company's name. Just play that game with yourself so that you can start creating this vision of what it would like to have it. You want a new car? Let's go to the dealership, okay? Go and find your car. Walk into the dealership, walk into the showroom floor, open the door, sit in the car. Put your hands on the wheel, smell it, feel the seats. Imagine driving down the road. Sit there, relax, put your head back, close your eyes, and imagine what it's like. And when the salesman comes up and says, can I help you? You really like this car? When he does this thing, you can just tell him, I'm going to buy this car. I'm sitting here getting ready. I'm getting into it. And just give me a few minutes. Let me, take this all in so that I can create this energy and start to make it happen. Tell him, please don't interrupt me right now. I'm busy. And then just, immerse yourself in the feel, the smell, and the environment of that car. This way, when you leave, you can have a picture in your mind of what it's going to be like when you're sitting in the driver's seat and you're looking down the road driving this new car. You've already been in it in the driver's seat, and you can envision what it's going to be like to drive it, okay? That's creating motivation and passion. And before you leave, go over to the little thing where they have brochures, pick up a brochure of the car that you want, the dream car, take it home with you. Get a couple of them if you need to, and cut out those pictures. Now, if they're not exactly the right color, that doesn't matter really. I mean, it's great if it is, but if not, cut out the pictures anyway. And if you have a computer and a nice color printer, you can go on to the manufacturer's website, the car dealer's website, and bring up the car that you're dreaming about. And most of them these days will allow you to click on the color tab, and it'll change the color of the car to the one you want. You can print those pictures out and cut them out and put them on your wall or on your mirror. The point is you want the visual, okay? And every day you want to envision driving it. Stick it on your mirror in the bathroom so while you're getting ready for work you can see it, and keep seeing it and spend a minute, 2 minutes looking at it. Remember that 62 or 63 seconds of creative energizing? Do it with the pictures. If you want a certain home, get pictures of the home. It's all about creating the energy, imagining, seeing yourself in it, and just do it. And the reason why we're doing it this way is because we want detail, we want emotion, we want to charge it. Because for most of us, and in the past, many people talk about making goals. They say, make a list of your goals list. Okay. And that's pretty much a list. We'll say, like, I want to make $1 million. I want to get my book published. I want to travel the world. I want a new car. I want a new house. I want to support my favorite charity. I want to help my family, whatever. But they're just, they're lines, they're words, but without any descriptions to them. It's just a list. And a list leaves a lot to be desired. So it's a great start, but I want you, as you make these 3 goals and decide what they are, you can write them down as 1, 2, 3 first, but I'd also like you to prioritize them as which is the one you're most passionate about first, then the second, and then third. But more than that, I want you to take each one of them, and then I want you to write a paragraph, a descriptive paragraph about what it is you want, what it looks like, smells like, tastes like, and what it feels like to be in that place or have that thing, so you can have the clarity that helps to drive your passion. Now, I know you've heard a lot about, making goals, and there's all kinds of different ways to do it. I just want you to understand, we've come a long way in understanding that there's power in the details. We know that there's power in words, there's power in our vision. So it's important to have your details and descriptions of your goals and dreams in writing. You want to take it from a wish to something you can actually work on. So instead of just making a list, make a list and then write paragraphs and descriptions and add pictures. This can be the beginning of your dream book or your dream map or whatever you want to call it. You just want to energize it in as many ways as you can. And you can use colors, to help create and give it more life, if you will. I bought some for my dream map, I bought some those colored foil letters and numbers, and put that on my dream board around it, and it says things like "do it" and "yay, I have it," and things like that, just to bring that those foil colored letters and numbers actually jump off the board, and they're bright and shiny, so they draw your attention to it. I mean, be creative, do whatever it is you want to do to make it beautiful, and also to make it attractive, so that you can keep looking at it and feel the energy. But most important of all, I want you to believe it's possible. Even if you don't know how, you can dream and you can believe. As long as you're taking action that's in alignment with achieving your goal, you can trust the process and it'll happen. Remember, the alignment isn't just a surface conscious alignment. You need to be in alignment at all levels. That means in your emotions, in your actions and words, feeling passionate about what you want, and what it feels like to have it. In your visions, you must see and imagine what it looks like, what you'll look like when you have it. And in your actions, this involves following the intuitive guidance you'll receive from the universe about what to do, who to talk to, and what opportunities you need to take advantage of. Because a lot of things will come to you, but not everything is the right path. And your intuition and the divine guidance you'll be given will keep you focused and moving forward. And don't be afraid of making a mistake. You can always make a course correction to get you, keep you on track. When you do these things, you'll get out of your own way and you can make things happen. It also helps you to stay focused so you don't get distracted by the naysayers and the critics and everybody who, will tell you you can't do it. It also helps you to stay focused on your intentions of what you want instead of what you don't want. It helps you to ignore all of the self-talk and the self-sabotaging belief systems that you've had forever, and the behaviors like procrastination and fear that have always stopped you in your tracks. So now we're going to do some tapping. We're going to get down to this tapping. It's a little more than we've been doing because it's designed to actually remove some issues or address issues surrounding money. And the setup statements and the statements we're going to do are going to dig deep into your emotions and some of the things, belief systems you've got. So if you feel that emotion rising up and it makes you feel like you want to cry, let it out. Just keep tapping on that emotion over and over until the tears stop or until the emotion subsides. And then you might want to use the EFT for comfort behind it to help to bring the energy back down to comfortable levels so you don't remain agitated. We're going to work on some of the issues you have about money, and many of them are connected to your family's beliefs, what you heard as a kid, what you experienced. And some of them are connected to life experiences, kind of like, some of the things we've been through recently, those of us who've gone through some traumatic loss experiences. We'll address many of them, but we can't address all of them because everybody's, got something different. So what you can do though is when you're tapping on your own, if you got new stuff that comes up, like as you're tapping and we're tapping on one thing and in your mind you're hearing your mother say something, or you're stupid, you can't do that, or your father is saying, oh, you're a girl and that's for boys to do, or you're supposed to stay home and you want to go out and have a business, whatever it comes up, just substitute those words, those lines of I can do it, I want it, I can be a good business person, I can work and be a good mom, I can do all these things, I'm smart and I'm capable. You want to put those statements in addition, and just keep going through the sequence. You know what it is. You've got the chart on the file section, but the thing is, you want to bring those issues up. When they come up, you want to tap on them and you want to bring them out, and so you can clear them. Now, we're going to address a lot of them in the next sequence, but I think you know enough on your own now to address some of the others that may come up during the process. And once you start working with this, you're going to start to see some significant results, especially when it comes to your money. Some of you will have incredible results over the next couple of weeks or maybe the next few days. Others will, come a little slower, but it'll come. If more things come up for you, like I said, just replace the words, make up your own. There is no right or wrong. It's about tapping until the feeling is gone, till the feeling is calm and peaceful and positive. And that's the whole point of EFT, okay? So, and remember, none of the statements I'm giving you are set in stone. If there are some things that we're tapping on that don't relate to you, if you don't have issues where, your parents were critical, or that, they always talked about money was the root of all evil and all that stuff, if those things are not applicable to you, that's okay. Tap through them anyway. I guarantee you there's something in you that may have an attachment or some kind of variation on that theme, and don't worry about it. Just tap through it. Keep on going. Okay. Remember, the more issues you address on and all aspects of those issues and feelings, the more the better your results will be. So let's get busy and do some tapping. Okay. Now this one is what we call a general money script, and it's designed to work on getting rid of issues. So let's get started. Karate chop. Always start there. Set up statements, and here we go. Remember, tap, follow, and then repeat after me. Even though I have problems with money, I deeply love and accept myself. And even though sometimes money seems hard to come by, I love and accept myself anyway. And even though sometimes I feel depressed about my money and the lack of it, I am ready to clear this energy now. And even though sometimes I get discouraged and stressed when I start to pay my bills because there may not be enough money, I'm grateful for all that I do have. And even though I've created patterns of struggle and lack with money, I am ready and grateful that I'm free to receive more now. So let's go and do the tapping on the tapping points, okay? Starting with the eyebrow. Release all of this lack and limitation energy now. Side of the eye. Releasing the energy of money doesn't grow on trees. Under the eye. Releasing the belief that money is hard to get. Under the nose. That money is filthy and dirty. Chin. Releasing the belief that money is not spiritual. Collarbone. That money may be dangerous. Top of the head. Releasing the belief that I don't deserve money. Eyebrow. My parents didn't have a lot of money, and neither will I. Side of the eye. Just letting that go now. Under the eye. They worried a lot about money. Under the nose. Sometimes it seemed that money was more important than me. Chin. They didn't know I felt that way. Chin. So I'm just going to let all that go too. Top of the head. It seems like I will never have enough money. Eyebrow. Sometimes I think that rich people are greedy and they're not good people. Side of the eye. Releasing, letting go of that belief now. Under the eye. Letting go of thinking there's not enough money for me. Under the eye still. Could it be that I'm afraid of wealth? Under the nose. Or that I'm not good enough? On the chin. I've been taught that poor people are more spiritual. Collarbone. Makes me feel very frustrated. Top of the head. Because money hasn't been there for me. Eyebrow. I never seem to have enough money. Side of the eye. Not having enough has caused me nothing but trouble and heartache. Under the eye. Will I ever get out of debt? Under the nose. Doesn't seem like I will. On the chin. It's so hard. Collarbone. Money seems so hard to get. Top of the head. I'm releasing that belief now, letting it go from all of my cells. Eyebrow. But when will it be my turn to have money? Side of the eye. How can I have money when my family didn't? Under the eye. Is it a sin to have and spend money? Under the nose. I'm afraid if I spend it, I won't get any more. On the chin. I feel sad and sometimes angry that I have to struggle so much. Collarbone. I feel like I'm not worth it. Top of the head. Like maybe I don't deserve it. Eyebrow. I have to work so hard to get ahead. Side of the eye. And the only way to have money is to work hard. Under the eye. That's what I've always been taught. Under the nose. That's what my parents said. And on the chin. And that's what everybody tells me. Collarbone. But I'm releasing all of that generational belief now. Top of the head. I'm just letting it all go. Eyebrow. Releasing all of that poverty consciousness. Side of the eye. Releasing it all now. Under the eye. I hate bills because they take all of my money. Under the nose. Sometimes I resent others for having money when I don't. On the chin. And sometimes I think money will corrupt me. Collarbone. Money just seems to go out faster than it comes in. Top of the head. It makes me feel worthless and stuck. Eyebrow. Sometimes I feel absolutely poor. Side of the eye. Like I'll never get out from under all of this debt. And under the eye. My parents never got ahead, and maybe I won't either. Under the nose. I'm afraid of being greedy if I have too much money. On the chin. Because my parents told me that too. Collarbone. So I have to stay poor. Top of the head. But I don't like that feeling either, so I'm going to release it now. Eyebrow. Why can't I make money doing what I love? Side of the eye. Why do I have to work so hard? Under the eye. Releasing that belief from every cell in my body. Under the nose. I want to earn lots of money doing what I love. Chin. And I think I can do that now. Collarbone. Is it okay if I do that now? Top of the head. Could I really make that much money? Eyebrow. Am I afraid of wealth? Side of the eye. I have some negative language and beliefs around money. Under the eye, like I can't afford to have enough money or I can't afford what I want. Under the nose, like I don't have enough money anyway. On the chin, releasing all the arguments and conflicts I have created around money. Collarbone, like when I gave to my family and they never gave back to me. Top of the head, makes me think I can't trust my family. Eyebrow, money is difficult to come by. Side of the eye, but I'm releasing those beliefs. I'm just letting them all go. Under the eye, letting go of the lack, the struggle, and the conflicts with money. Under the nose, releasing, just letting it all go. On the chin, not giving my power away to money anymore. Collarbone, letting all that stuff go. Top of the head, letting it all go once and for all. Okay, this is step one, so let's take in a few breaths, 3 deep breaths, and exhale. And release. Kind of push your stomach in and push the air out of your lungs and push all that toxic energy out. Then inhale through your nose. And exhale. Inhale again. Feel the energy running down through your body, down through your feet, and then around and back up through your body, and then into your lungs, and exhale. And now breathe normally. And now we're going to go through step 2. This is a little different, like I said, but we're breaking up a lot of stuff. So we got this one, and then we have another short reframe. All right, I want to place the fist of your dominant hand, whether it's your right or your left hand, and you want to put it on over your heart chakra here, the center of your chest, a little slightly to the left, right about where your heart is. And rotate your hand like I'm doing, whichever way feels comfortable, because for some people, chakras, we're rotating your hand in the way your chakra's spinning, and for some people it may be different. So whatever feels comfortable. If you're rubbing the wrong way, you're going to feel it. And as long as you're rubbing the right way, it'll feel good, okay? Now repeat after me. I forgive myself. I have done the best I know how with money. I forgive money. It has always been there for me, and I claim it now. I forgive my parents. They did the best they knew how. I forgive my ancestors because they did the best they knew how too. I forgive myself for not changing this pattern sooner. It is now time, and I'm changing it now. Take a breath in. And exhale. Feel your body letting go of all that energy. Now, quick tapping reframe. This is reframing to create an abundance of money, and this one is short. Eyebrow point. Thank you, universe. Thank you, Mother Earth. Side of the eye. I am creating new beliefs and energy around money. Under the eye. I deserve to be successful and abundant. Under the nose. I am very responsible with my money. Chin. I'm doing lots of good things with my abundant supply. Collarbone. I am a spiritual person because I share my abundance with others. Top of the head. It makes me happy to have enough money to spare and to share. Now tap with your right hand on your left inner wrist. I let this be so. On your right wrist with your left hand, and so it is. And while you continue to tap, say, thank you, universe, thank you, God, thank you, Mother Earth, for all of this and something even better. And smile. Now we're going to take in 3 more deep breaths. Take it in. Go deep into your stomach, into your chest. Let your stomach go out. And exhale, push it all out. Inhale again. And exhale, pushing out. Inhale one more time. And exhale. Now just sit back for a minute and let the energy flow through you while you relax, and just let it go. Let it, feel it through your body from the top of your head down to your feet and circulating back up and around. And when we get done with this, after you have sat with it for a minute, if you have any feelings or issues that come up, take a minute and write it down, write it in your journal, or just take a pad of paper and write down your feelings and thoughts, especially if anything unusual comes up or you have some other issues that surface, so that you can tap on them later by just repeating one of the processes that we, take a segment of one of the processes that we did from the eyebrow point to the top of the head and just keep going over that sequence, saying those words until the emotion diminishes, until you feel better. It doesn't, like I said, there's no set sequence. It's just a matter of speaking your word, bringing up the issue, identifying it, and then releasing it. So the other thing for your homework this week is I want you to review your homework tapping assignment, the one that says EFT for creating money. It's more than just tapping. There's some goal setting exercises in there, and it's pretty self-explanatory. But if you have any questions, just Facebook me, inbox me, and we'll talk about it. The work is the goals are attached to the work that we just did. It's attached to what we talked about today. So do the steps in the homework and use the tapping sequences that come along with them to address any strong emotional reactions you may have even to the homework assignment, because it's a little bit different. It's tapping on your goals, okay? So we've done a lot this week. This was a little bit longer than usual, but it's because we had a lot to cover. If you're going to create, you got to get that energy going, and it does take time, but now we've come to the end and we're getting ready to close. So it's time for you to relax and let all this sink in, and if you need to run through the sequence again and review this video, I hope you will, because it takes more than once to dig out all that concrete that's been sitting up in you for a long time. But this will do it. I guarantee you it'll do it. Let it all sink in, and especially the forgiveness step, because a lot of guilt and negative energies and experiences are surrounded with surround our money issues, losses and bad things that happened, and deception, and things that were taken from us. I mean, it's a whole bunch of things that come with the emotion of money. And money is, like I said, it's an outpicturing, a physical outpicturing of our emotional experiences. But anyway, we're working on it. And as always, drink plenty of water, because if you are feeling the energy running, it's dumping stuff in your bloodstream, and you need to wash that out so that you feel good. If you're feeling a little lightheaded, that's a real indication that you've broken through some real stuff and you need to flush it. And get some rest. Take some time to lay down and just give yourself a break, even if it's only 15 or 20 minutes. It's very beneficial. 20 minutes of rest can make you feel like you've slept for hours if you do it and you're uninterrupted. Okay. And before I go, I just want to thank all of you for your commitment and the hard work and sticking with it this far. It's a commitment. It's a commitment of time and effort. But if you do the process, you will definitely see benefits and movement, and things will get easier and better, and you'll make a lot of progress. So, just pat yourself on the back, give yourself a big high five, and always reward yourself for a job well done. So I hope you are seeing the progress, and and make sure you come and share some of your experiences with us in the Facebook group. That's how we know what's happening, and it's good for other people to read and be encouraged by each one's experiences. So that's all for tonight. I will see you next week. Take care. Have a great week. Have a great holiday weekend. And God bless you all. I love you, and I thank you for allowing me to share this time with you. Good night.